Felix Auger Aliassime had to briefly stop playing when he accidentally hit himself in the face with his racket. Felix Auger Aliassime was forced to briefly stop play just 2 games into his match against Francisco Cerundolo at Indian Wells after appearing to hit himself in the face with his racket. The 8th seed looked to be having his chin glued up in an emergency medical timeout after it started bleeding, as commentators suggested he could need it stitched. Auger Aliassime got off to a fast start in his third-round match in Indian Wells, breaking Cerundolo to lead 2-0. But with the 27th seed serving in the third game, the Canadian suddenly had to stop play when he started bleeding. The 22-year-old could be seen with blood in the middle of his hand as he retreated to his bench mid-game, with rules stating that players cannot continue when someone is actively bleeding. As he sat down, it became apparent that the blood was coming from his chin as a large cut had formed. With the physio called to the court, a replay showed that Auger Aliassime had accidentally whacked himself in the face with his racket mid-rally, with the string appearing to catch his face. Former pro Laura Robson commented that it appeared that his face was being glued back together when the physio arrived and started working on the cut. "What do we think? A bit of glue?" she asked on Prime Video commentary. "I think that is glue," she continued, before suggesting that the cut may need more intervention later on. "Just try and seal that up. Whatever they're doing, it'll be a temporary fix because he's going to have to get this properly looked at." Co-commentator Nick Lester remarked, "Is this going to last out here without opening up? It's not going to be an easy situation." And Robson added, "Yeah, I don't think this will be totally sweat-proof. It will need a proper clean post-match and then maybe even a stitch, to be honest. It's quite a big cut." Auger Aliassime continued playing once the medical timeout was over. And despite the lengthy pause in play, Cerundolo was able to hold to love. And it was suddenly all one-way traffic for the Argentine, who broke the 8th seed in the next game. The Canadian went on to lose the next 3 games in a row after hitting himself in the face, going from 2-0 up to 2-3 down. But he stopped Cerundolo's run by holding for 3-3 to stay level. Auger Aliassime eventually took the opening set after 75 minutes and advanced to the round of 16 for the first time in Indian Wells with a 7-5, 6-4 victory over Cerundolo. "All okay, but that was surprising," he said of his earlier injury. "It didn't hurt bad when I hit myself and then I touched my chin and it was bleeding pretty bad, so that's definitely a first to hit yourself with a racket, but I think it's going to be one for the bloopers on tennis TV."